Tamara Bennett from Southern Adornments Decor. Tonight kicks off night number 1 of 3 nights that we're going to be painting these pumpkin lantern door hangers. So I love to do this because it gives me a chance to show you how to paint something beginner, something intermediate, and something a little more advanced. So tonight is the beginner night. So if you are new to door hanger painting, this is the one you should definitely start with. Now, if you have a hard time choosing paint colors, I'm going to make that super simple for you tonight by having the colors already chosen for you. Charlie's popping in to say hi.
Hello. Could I light the candle?
Sure. Yes. Well, I don't know. The wick probably needs to be trimmed a little bit. No, not right now. I just bought a brand new candle and we lit it last night and she had fun lighting the match. Like I had some matches that you strike on a strike plate and she's wanting to do it again, but I realized I need to trim the wick. So I went ahead and kind of did my color mock-up on Procreate. This is sort of the plan I'm going with. And I really want to try to do Crackle paint. Now, I know I said I'm going to do this as a beginner, but Crackle paint is something that's fairly simple to do. The only problem is I don't have my Crackle medium around here. I have looked high and low for the last 10 minutes and cannot find their Crackle medium. So I either used it all up the last time or hid it from myself. I don't even know. But I know that you can also do Crackle with Elmer's glue. Have any of you all tried that? So we're going to give that a shot tonight. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't turn out well, it's just paint. We can paint over it. So keep that in mind as you paint along or as you paint anything along with me, and trust the process because I'm going to take you through this step by step. You're not going to have to figure out paint colors or even what brush to use because just like in the Painters Clubhouse, tonight I'm going to be showing you exactly what to do step by step. If you're not a member of the Painters Clubhouse, this is your formal invitation to go to paintersclubhouse.com now and join. We are accepting new members right now, and this is the perfect time of year to join because we're heading into fall. And with fall comes lots of fun fall and Christmas projects. You can see that cute little pumpkin truck door hanger hanging up behind me. We're going to be painting that one in the Painters Clubhouse in September. Hello, Vicki. Hey, Elizabeth. I see Heather and Barbara are here. Hello, Jane and Robin. Joanne's watching on YouTube. Awesome. I'm going to start off with painting my lantern dark chocolate. And I'm just using a little 5/8 wide paintbrush, flat tip. And so this color is actually going to be the color of the crackle that shows through. So we don't have to do a really good coat on this as far as like a really even coat. We just have to get it on there because we're going to be covering it all up in just a moment. So this is a really great way to kind of just practice your brush strokes, get used to filling in a whole area with a color. And let me know if you have any questions about anything as we go through. When I teach in the Painters Clubhouse, I like to slow down and to kind of like show you step by step exactly what I'm doing. And so I'll share little tips. Like right now, I'm thinking about the tip that I always share for if you're painting and you end up getting paint over the edge of your door hanger, I always advise that you like get a little bit off in the middle and then do this little soft flicking motion as you get near the edge of the door hanger. Doing that will ensure that you aren't like scraping excess paint over the edge and getting it all over the back. The backs of my door hangers are always nice and clean. Anna is so excited to watch. I'm so glad you made it here, Anna. For those of you who didn't get a notification that I was going live just now and you want to be notified because tomorrow night we're going to be doing this again for night number 2, but at 8:30 p.m. Central, you can comment the word alert and I will send out a notification before I go live as a reminder. That way you don't miss it. And then we'll be doing it again on Thursday night. And so each night the painting difficulty level will get just a little higher. But that doesn't mean that you can't push yourself and try to do one that's a little bit more challenging. So if you feel so inclined to want to try the one that I do tomorrow night or the next night, and you still feel like you're in the beginner zone, give it a shot. You might shock yourself at what you're able to do. We just completed the Pumpkins and Pickups workshop inside of a private Facebook group. It's on the flip side of this door hanger here. And so many of you shared your cute little pictures of your pumpkin pickup truck. And we had so much fun painting that one. And a lot of you were like, wow, I cannot believe what I accomplished. So carry that feeling forward. Come join us in the Painters Clubhouse. We can teach you more than just how to paint an ombre sky. Yes, this will definitely be on replay for sure. If you're watching on TikTok, you can come join us on Facebook or YouTube for an even better seat at watching me paint this. I've just got TikTok running in the background, and that way you guys can see what's going on, but I'm actually live on Facebook and YouTube as well. And they have a front row seat to this tutorial. Now, the wood blank or template to this design is linked in the video description for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube. So if you don't have this template, this is an older one from, I don't know how old this is, maybe last year, year before. And so I haven't ever painted it live. So I was excited to do this tonight. So if you want to grab the template or the wood blank to this one, you can do that in the video description there. How is everybody? What about the witch tomorrow? Yeah, Heidi will be teaching the little witch design in the Painters Clubhouse tomorrow. I think that's at 1 p.m. Central. So be sure and come join her for that. But that will be happening inside a StreamYard link that we will share in the Painters Clubhouse. I started to do a second coat, forgetting that we're going to cover that whole area up. So don't even worry about a second coat on this. Hey, Trudy, thank you for sprinkling the love. If you all don't mind hitting that share button, it would be greatly appreciated. That helps get the word out on Facebook. And if you know somebody who loves crafty things, tag them. That way they can find this, because you never know. They might be interested in painting door hangers with me. And I know all of you know somebody who like that, who's crafty. Yeah, that'll be on replay as well. We always have replays for you guys. No worries. Hey, Marina, how are you? Any questions about anything else? Paula said, hello, fellow painters. This is so awesome that you're doing this, Tamara. I love watching y'all paint. I haven't done this in about a year. So I usually, a couple times a year, will do this like 3 nights in a row, where I will paint the same design 3 different ways. And I did it last fall, but I haven't done it since. And so I was like, I need to bring that back. And so otherwise I would have told y'all about this last week, so you could have ordered the wood blank in advance, but I kind of remembered last minute. This is like today, or yesterday, that I was like, I need to do this. So it was kind of just thrown together. So better late than never. Kathy said, I really love this pattern. I would love this one. Okay, well, it's up in the video description for you. You can tap that link if you want. I can also grab it and drop it down in the comments for you. If you need the wood blank or the template, you can click this link. I'm going to put it in the chat. Erica said, I didn't think about watching on TV from YouTube. A lot of people do that. She said, I'm in bed sick. I'm definitely doing that. I don't want to think about how big my head is on your TV, though. So don't tell me how big of a screen you've got. Uncle Corey just got himself a 75-inch TV. And I'm like, he better not be watching me on that thing. Paula said, I like this. Let's make it a monthly thing. Oh, yeah, for sure. If you join the Painters Clubhouse, it will be a monthly thing. We'll be painting together all the time. Like I said, we're going to be painting the Christmas side of that truck in September together. Tomorrow, Heidi Easley's painting with us, and we're going to keep the fun rolling. So if you want to join in the fun, comment PC info and you can sign up now. Oh, Christy, don't tell me that. She said we're watching on a 75-inch TV too. My head is this small. That's what I'm imagining. Okay, I'm going to get some of this light mocha color. At first glance, it looks kind of like a creamy white, but when this color dries, it's kind of a soft tan. So that's the color that I'm going to put on top of the brown, and the brown is going to show through the cracks if everything goes well. And I say that because I don't actually have Crackle paint. I thought I had Crackle paint, but I don't. So I asked my daughter if she had any Elmer's glue, and lo and behold, she had a little bit. It's almost completely empty. So we're going to have to figure this out. So the trick with the Elmer's glue is just like with the Crackle medium. It's almost the same kind of stuff. Let's see if we can even get it out of here. Am I going to have to cut the top off of this Elmer's glue container and use it like a little paint palette? Damn. Don't try this at home. I've almost got it. Got it. Look, it's like a perfect little paint palette down in there. What in the world? There was like a glue barrier that built up. That's why it wasn't going anywhere. She left the lid off of it, and part of it started to dry. Ew. Okay. That's probably the perfect amount for this project. Okay, so if you don't have, thank you for saying that. Tammy said, join us. We'll have lots of fun and you'll learn a lot. I'm going to switch to a larger brush so I can work faster, because once you start working with this, you have to get the paint on there while the glue is still wet. So I'm going to start up at the top and maybe work in sections. Ooh, this glue is looking a little gummy. It's okay. We'll get some really great cracks out of it. I could also water it down just a teeny bit with some water. Spritz some water in there, stir it up a little. Welcome to the Hot Mess Express of paint tutorials. If you can follow this one, you can follow any of them. So you've got to work while the paint is still, while the glue is still wet. So this is just cheap Elmer's school glue. And I'm just going to work section by section here. I'm probably just going to do this whole little section right up here at the top, and then we'll worry about moving down. So while the glue's still wet, you dip in, sorry, it's a little crooked. You dip in your top coat color and you swipe that on. And the trick, they say, is to put it on in like 1 or 2 swipes, to try not to mix it with the glue, but to put it on top of the glue. So as you can see, I'm kind of just swiping it on. I'm trying not to do like a back and forth. I do want it a little thicker in some spots though, because I want it to look real old and crackly. And then as the glue underneath dries, the white on top is going to crackle more. So I think that looks pretty good. So while that's drying, hang on, I want a little bit more right there. It's already crackling. That's crazy how fast it works. Okay, while that's drying, let me rinse this out. And we're going to move down to the next section. Brenda said, cool tip. You're learning it in real time while I am. It's been a hot minute since I did crackle paint. And I've never actually done crackle paint with Elmer's glue. But like I said, I could not find my crackle medium that I have right before the live. And I was dead set that I was going to do some crackle tonight. We actually have a full technique tutorial in the Painters Clubhouse member library that teaches you how to do crackle with a crackle medium. So if you want to follow along with that and do your own crackle project, we teach it on a little pumpkin project. And so we teach how to do like orange over brown. And so that'll be the perfect little video you can follow along with to try crackle paint on something. Crackle was one of those techniques that was so popular, like back in the 90s. I remember it being really popular in the 90s. And then it kind of went away for a little while, I feel like, or it took a back seat. Okay, now we're dipping in our paint. We're going to swipe right on top of that and just add this paint in. Try not to do a lot of back and forth. Not too worried about getting it on my sunflower. If I do, it'll be okay, because I can paint over it, right? And I'm making sure to get a generous amount of paint on my brush before doing each brush stroke. And it is gliding. It goes really well on top of that glue. Okay, look, it's already starting to do its crackle magic up here. That's so exciting. Let me show you up close. Look, look it. Already starting to crackle up there at the top. This is going to be, we're looking really chippy. Somebody said we used to do crackle nail polish. Oh, I totally forgot about that. And I think I had some of that stuff back in the day. You're so perfect with your edges. How do you mean? Oh, like coming up next to the sunflower? Definitely not. If you were looking it up close, you wouldn't think so. Okay, let's do this side. Working in small sections. Anytime you're painting something like this that, you have to get something done before something else dries, you're better to work in sections. That way, because if I had to wait and go ahead and put glue on this whole thing, the glue would be nearly dry by the time I went back with that white paint. So working in sections is better. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and pick up our paint now. Load that brush up. And we're going to do a brush stroke down through here. Needs some more. I feel like it needs more down here at the bottom. So I'm going to brush back up. And I'm also going to go over to the edge. Okay. The point is not to make it look really smooth. And it's really hard to tell yourself that when you're so used to like trying to get the paint nice and smooth and get a really good clean coat. Sorry, the camera keeps refocusing. Let me see if I can turn that off. Because we're kind of taught to like make our paint nice and smooth. No, smooth out those brush strokes and all of that. And so it's hard to kind of go against the grain and not try to smooth out our brush strokes. Okay, I just told the camera to stop refocusing and it just froze. So we might have to give it a moment. It's still frozen. Look, no hands, Mom. My hand is still on the screen. What is going on? Autofocus is great when it's not going berserk. Okay, what's going on? Let me try removing it and re-adding it. Okay. I think we're back in business now. It's working. Okay. What is the second color? The second color, oh, look at the crackle. The second color is light mocha. The crackle's looking so good. Forget the crackle medium. Just grab you some Elmer's glue. I better hurry up and work while this little bit of glue that I have left is still dry. My glue was a little gummy. I had to steal it from my daughter, Charlie, and all she had left was this right here, the bottom of the bottle. So we cut the top of the bottle off, and we're just using it. And if I can do this at the last minute with gummed up Elmer's glue at the bottom of the bottle, you as a beginner painter can do this too. I promise. The biggest the biggest challenge you will have doing this technique is fighting that urge to do back and forth brush strokes. So look how much paint I got on there. I got it loaded up, and we're just gonna, well, here, we'll start up here at this little section, swipe down, load up some more, and then swipe down again. So I'm trying not to do like a back and forth or to go over the same area multiple times. I'm trying to just cover it and move on, because it's really tempting to want to go back and forth and try to get it perfect. It's so hard to just leave it alone. But look how good the crackle's looking. Can y'all see that? It's already crackling beautifully. And that's just Elmer's glue under paint. So this is going to be looking really cool and chippy by the time we're done. Hey, Dana. She said Weathers Sisters in the house. At first, I thought that was like a business name, the Weathers Sisters. I was like, that's really fun. How much is the template? It's $7 at shopdoorhangers.com, and it comes with 4 different sizes of PDF. So depending on if you're going to do like a little ornament, this would be a cute little ornament size, or all the way up to door hanger size. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing using the heat gun, but I kind of wanted to see it crackle faster. Wow, it's crackling really good. Carrie said, wow, I know, right? I am blown away right alongside y'all. I hadn't tried this with the Elmer glue before, but I heard that it worked. Or I had seen people use it before. But anyway, yeah, the template comes with the laser cut file also, and the color mock-up of how you could paint it. Now we're completely doing it our own way this week, so you don't have to follow that color mock-up. Lauren said, I'm so impressed. Right? I am too. Now, it's going to look imperfect, but that's the point. We want it to look old and chippy. So don't worry about yours if it looks weird. Like I've got some weird spots up here, but that's kind of the beauty of Crackle, is you get what you get. Okay, let's start on, I was going to start on the sunflower, but now I'm thinking I might want to start on the inside background of my lantern. And this is kind of what I had planned, this bluish gray color. It reminds me of colonial blue. So let me see if I can find my colonial blue. It's somewhere around here. How good am I at spotting colors? It was right up there on the shelf and I grabbed it. What about the cutout? Brenda, the cutout, if you're getting this size, is $24 in our shop. If you're getting a smaller one, it'll be cheaper. If you have a Painters Clubhouse discount code, you can save 20%. If you're not a Painters Clubhouse member, go join first at paintersclubhouse.com and then grab your discount code and then order this. Margarita said, I learned how to crackle from Miss Tracy Creates. It's fun to use. It is. It's really fun to use. Kathy says, I use that Elmer's glue technique on tumblers. Oh, cool. So each night this week, we're going to be painting this same design different ways. And so I had posted on Facebook earlier today asking you all to share with me your ideas for what do you envision for this door hanger. And so some of you shared that it needed a little bit of glass or resin, and that sounded really fun. Some of you shared that it could use some foils. If you don't know what foils are, they're really fun. You kind of like put some glue down, let it dry, stick the foil to it, and it creates like a really cool metallic look that you can't really get with paint, even with metallic paint. It's just a little different. Some of you shared that I should do a beachy theme, which I thought sounded fun. This is a little beachy looking to me, especially with the crackle. So I kind of was inspired by that. Another idea was to do some cow print, like on the actual lantern to go with like the sunflower, like a rustic farmhouse sort of look. I really like that idea. I could totally do a stencil. I could do a cow print stencil. So then you would be learning how to stencil and do cow print. What else you got? I feel like there was other ideas and I'm forgetting what they were at the moment. Lots of really great ideas were shared under that post. This looks purple in the camera. Isn't that crazy? This is colonial blue. It's a grayish sort of blue. I wanted something that would look good with that color on the outside of the wood. I feel like we should have saved the crackle for the very end. That way, you, like the fun part, save the fun for the end. But then again, like it is nice to be able to like do the crackle and then work around it and kind of clean up your edges if your crackle is a little messy. Like right now, I could go back through with this colonial blue and just kind of straighten up some edges and not worry about it. Rusty with cinnamon. Foil and resin would be great for day 3. Ooh, resin. Dana said you sell gift cards to use in the shop. Yes, but I think you have to reach out to customer service to grab a gift card. I'm not sure how to do that. You'll have to email customer service at info@southernadornamentsdecor.com. Brenda, I thought you probably were a sister, but I wasn't sure. She's talking about a PC sister. A rusty lantern. Somebody mentioned doing like a faux patina. I haven't done that before, but that would be fun. Yes, the messy middle. Okay, let me get some white paint. I want to streak just a little bit into this as I do a second coat of this color. That way it looks a little bit like it's got some glass in it. So I'm just going to use my little mister bottle. Also pick up a little bit of that colonial blue again and then streak some white in here because I don't want it to be like a flat color. Glass isn't a flat color. So on my second coat, I'm just kind of adding that in there. And you can be a kind of little messy with it if you like. What other ideas do y'all have? Drop me a comment. That's looking really pretty. I feel like I need to smooth that out a bit more, but that looks real pretty. Kathy's a PC sister. How many PC sisters do we have here tonight? If you're not a PC sister or brother, you can join at paintersclubhouse.com. We paint fun stuff like this inside the group every month together. It's such a fun community where you can learn painting alongside other people so that you're not having to learn to paint at home alone. When you want to be creative, all you got to do is pull up the supply list, the template, the video, and follow along. Diane just joined. A round of applause. Everybody congratulate Diane. She took the plunge. I know we've got a couple of other new Painters Clubhouse sisters in the comments too. I spotted a couple of y'all a minute ago. So if you're new, let us know also. Look at all those PC sisters in the comments. Everybody's showing up. Y'all are awesome. Somebody on TikTok said faux patina would be amazing. Very weathered looking. I'm going to have to research that. Maybe I can teach myself by Thursday by practicing. Lorraine said sister from New York. Awesome. Brenda, I don't know how many guys we have, but not a lot. We've probably got a handful. And I mean, like I could probably count them all on one hand. Tina, watching on YouTube, said she joined last night. Welcome, Tina. Susan's a member. Paula's a member. Welcome, everyone. Y'all are so welcoming. I just love it. Look how pretty this crackle is, y'all. I can't get over it. I'm going to be gawking at this all week. I mean, could it be any more perfect? Perfectly imperfect. I mean, if I had asked it to crackle any better, I don't know how it would have looked because this is amazing. I'm shocked. Elmer's glue and paint. Shooketh. I am shooketh. And I feel like I've used the crackle paint before. My results were not this good. So I feel like the Elmer's glue is the way to go. I'm going to have to add that to my shopping list and get some more of it. If Charlie comes in here, she's going to be floored how great this looks. All right, let's start painting our sunflower. You love the blue, and the Crackle is really special. I know, isn't it? It's kind of impressive. For people who don't paint, who don't know how to do a Crackle finish like this, if you sell them or show them a door hanger like this, they're going to be blown away. They're like, how did you do that? Because they don't know, you know? It's very impressive. And it's beginner level, y'all. That's just glue and paint. I feel like anybody could do that, even if you're a total beginner. And totally inexpensive. You don't even have to, I mean, I'm not that Deco Art probably doesn't want to sell you something, but you don't even have to go buy the Crackle medium. You can just grab your Elmer's glue that you probably already have in your cabinet, even if it's old and half dried up like mine was. Add a little water to it. It's fine. It doesn't chip off. Whoops, I just smudged that. I just smudged it. Can I smudge it back? I don't want to make it worse. We're going to leave it alone. No, it won't chip off, especially if you seal it after it's dry. Angela says, I need practice crackling. We need to do more Crackle projects. I haven't done a Crackle project in a hot minute. Yep, Mama Jan's in the house. My mama. What color brown did you use under the glue? Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate. We're going to use that brown for the center of our sunflower also. For right now, I'm just putting down a coat of the sunset gold color. And then I'm going to come back in with probably a little bit of white and sunset gold and give these flower petals a little bit more life and light. And I'm just using a little 1/2-inch flat tip brush. So, you know, you don't have to use this brush, but I do feel like it works really well for just quickly coating those petals. An angle tip brush would be really great too. So if you're more comfortable with an angle tip brush, maybe use one of those. I'm a flat tip brush girly. Y'all know this. I use it a lot. Probably paint a bug over the smudge. That's a good idea. Put a little ladybug right there. Christina said, I'm going to be trying that Crackle technique on different stuff this week. Yeah, I want to paint everything Crackle now. What's Crackle-lacking? I love that, Dana. You're too funny. Let's see. Nancy's on TikTok. Hey, Nancy. Welcome. Somebody said liquid rawhide works good for Crackle. I don't own any of that, but I definitely own Elmer's glue. So if you're just now hopping on, tonight we're painting this door hanger like a beginner would. A little bit more beginner level techniques. The Crackle may be intimidating, but it's something a beginner can definitely do. And so we're doing this 3 different ways. Tonight is beginner, tomorrow's intermediate, and tomorrow night we're going to paint another one, or not tomorrow night, Thursday night we're going to paint another one more advanced. So if you're watching on TikTok, comment alert so you can get notified each night when I'm going live. And if you want to grab the template or the wood blank, I've put the links in the video description for those. I'm picking up a little bit of white with my sunset gold this time to make it cover a little better, just a little bit on the corner there. And this is to represent all of our PC sisters who join and maybe they're a little intimidated. So they just start with a beginner project and they follow right along with the tutorial. They don't deviate or really use a lot of fancy technique. Maybe they just stick with what feels comfortable. And so Crackle paint is definitely something that you could feel a little more comfortable even for a beginner. But tomorrow night, we're going to take it up a notch. We're going to paint it just a little different. We're going to add in some fun techniques and kind of make it just look different. And so that'll represent the Painters Clubhouse member who's maybe been a member for a few months and they're starting to really gain some confidence. They're ready to try something that they haven't tried before on a door hanger. And then Thursday night, we'll be painting it more advanced level. Perhaps that person is going to change the design a little bit or deviate from the original or add something really special like resin to the door hanger. And so I want you guys to stick with me each night because you're going to learn something a little new every night. And if you really want to dive deep on some of the techniques that I'm teaching this week, you can do that by joining the Painters Clubhouse. We have lots of technique videos, but we also have full tutorials like this, categorized by season. So there's a whole member library you can access. Plus we're adding two new ones every month. Yes, there is a fee to join. The Painters Clubhouse is $47 a month. That covers your access to the Facebook group, the templates we provide you every month, the tutorials, supply list, plus access to that member library that has over 100 tutorials in it. And you can go in and start downloading templates right away and get started on a project the minute you join. Teresa said, I love the Elmer's glue. I've bought Crackle paint and haven't even used it. Well, if you use it, you'll have to let us know if it worked this well. Christy said, is there a light in the background? That would definitely be advanced. Yes, we could add like a glowing like candle light or add a candle. That would be a really good way to up level this. Teresa said, I love it when you do the 3 ways to paint. I haven't done it in about a year. Can you believe? Good to see you too, Nancy. Okay, we've got our sunflower painted. Let's jump down here and add some color to our pumpkin. I'm going to grab spiced pumpkin. That's a good color. Spiced pumpkin. And I'm just putting my paints over here in this handy dandy little ice cube tray. I like to keep my paints in it because it keeps my paint in a nice, neat little puddle. And so it's not spreading out all over a paper plate or something where I can't get to it. Now, one thing that I'm not going to do tonight is add a lot of shading to this pumpkin because a beginner is probably not going to feel comfortable adding shading. I did add a little bit of white into my flower petals, but I didn't like try to keep that white to a certain area. I just kind of blended it all in because that's probably what a beginner is going to do. And that's totally okay. Now, this is a beginner level mistake. And you would think that I would have thought to tell you this before we started, but I didn't. So this is a teaching moment. Looky here. When I painted the background, I accidentally got it on my pumpkin. And now the orange is not covering that. So a beginner would be panicking probably like, what do I do? They'd probably be putting 6 coats of orange on here and not sure what to do next. I'm going to go ahead and paint this just so that you can kind of see. Like it's not covering, right? The trick to fix something like this is remember it's just paint. We can paint over it. But that doesn't mean you need to put 10 more coats of orange over it because the orange will eventually cover it, but that's a lot of work to try to cover it with like 10 coats of orange. What you need to do is dry it and then put a neutralizing color over it. A color that's very similar to the background of the wood or the color that's kind of behind this. So if you were painting this orange on top of another color, you would have to bring it back down to a neutral color. So we're drying it. That stops the orange from smearing anywhere. We're going to rinse our brush. And then I'm going to grab, let's see, I don't even think I have a tan color that's really close to this wood color right now because I'm out of my burlap color. But I do have this light mocha, the light mocha color. And I could blend this with a little bit, I already have some in my palette. I could blend this with a little bit of the dark chocolate to kind of make a tan. If you have a tan color that's similar to the background color, use that. I don't advise using white, and here is why. Orange doesn't cover white very well. And so you're almost better off to just take a little bit of paint. I'm going to dip this out of here like it's a spoon. You're almost better to like use a tan color that's closer to the color of the wood because orange covers that better. Now, let me wash this off. I'm making a big old mess. I'm going to take my brush and rinse it out. It's wet, but it's like wiped off. And then we're going to dip in that color. It's kind of the color we mixed, and we're just going to paint right back over the area of the pumpkin. Now, you might want to, depending on the color of your tan, if the color of the tan you're using is really close to the wood color, then you could just kind of do a touch-up right here and only paint the area that is affected. But because my tan color is pretty different from the wood, I'm just going to, on the safe side, go ahead and paint the whole pumpkin this color. This will be kind of like giving the pumpkin a coat of primer. Or concealer if you like makeup terms. And then, oops, I totally painted outside the lines there. That's okay. And so we're concealing the blemish that we tried to cover with the orange, and it didn't work. So just get that on there, get it smoothed out as best you can. I'm not worried about my flowers. We'll come back and get those in a bit. Don't forget about this little area down here. So this just kind of now makes the whole pumpkin neutral so that I can now paint that pumpkin orange and not have to worry about that little spot where I had got some blue on the pumpkin and it wouldn't cover. So it's kind of like we're starting fresh now. Now the trick too is to make sure and dry this before you start painting it orange again so you aren't smearing the color together. Any questions? Oh yeah, totally. Somebody said, thanks for the tips. I didn't know. I'm trying to share as many tips as humanly possible tonight, just so you've got a taste of what it's like to learn alongside somebody who's been doing this for quite a while, because I have more to share. There is always more that I can teach you. And so if you join the Painters Clubhouse, we can take it a step further. Hey, Rose, welcome. I don't have fawn. I'm out of fawn and burlap, Elizabeth. I'm like, what am I going to do? I got to place a deco art order stat. I've got a few colors that I'm dangerously out of. And so I've been having to mix colors to make those. Hey, Tracy, glad you found me live. Comment alert, and I'll notify you tomorrow night when I go live too. I'm going to be live 3 nights in a row this week. Now, I did get outside the lines right there and got it on the background color when I was painting the touch-up color, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. If it bothers me later, I'll touch it up. But for right now, I'm not going to worry. We're just going to put our orange on it. And I say don't worry about it right now because usually when we go back later and add like our finishing details, it usually covers a lot of those sort of problems, and you don't even notice them anymore. So just keep moving forward. Don't get stuck in the messy middle of feeling like you have to keep correcting stuff and touching things up. Otherwise, you're stuck in the part that's not fun and you're not getting things done. So I'm just going around with this brush, slapping this orange on here, and look how clearly it is covering way better. Orange is still going to need another coat. It's just typical that way, but at least now I'm not going to have to do 10 coats to cover that little blemish area. One other thing that I could teach you is the dreaded paint ridge. Drop a comment if you've ever had a problem with a paint ridge. If you don't know what a paint ridge is, you probably aren't a painter. But the paint ridge is when you have this like textured line. Here, I'll intentionally put a paint ridge right here on the edge of this pumpkin so you can kind of see. So see how the paint kind of gathered and made this like thick textured spot? If you're painting along the edge of something, you might not want that. And so a paint ridge can be really frustrating. And if you struggle with those, you have to start painting in the middle of your project. And after you get a lot of the excess of your paint off, then go next to the line you're trying to create with a lot less paint on your brush. And then you can go back and kind of smooth out what you put in the middle and just use very little paint going up next to the edge. Rose said, yes. Tara said, always the paint ridge. I know. Isn't it frustrating? It still happens to me. Even though I've been painting for a long while, it still happens to me from time to time. Corey's in her room, Charlie, or Corey. Charlie is in her room, Corey. Uncle Corey's on here. He's asking where Charlie's at. She popped in a minute ago. If you're new here, you're also probably wondering, what is this that I'm using to dry this? It's not a hair dryer. It is a small heat gun. It's linked in my Amazon favorites. I'll drop the link to my Amazon favorites in the comments if you need it. But it is by Ranger and it's called the Heated Craft Tool. It's nice and whisper quiet. It doesn't blow super hard. And it's really great for drying the paint in between layers. So it's got this little loop on the back of it. And I have a little command strip on the side of my craft desk. So when I switch it off, I just hang it on that little loop. Vicky said, hey, here to watch because I forgot to print my template. That's okay. I'm not going to get up and go get her, Uncle Corey. I am busy. You didn't know it was called that? That's what we all call it. I don't know if that's the right word, but paint ridge is what I have always called it, the paint ridge. All right, we're going for coat number 2 on our pumpkin. So we just dried it. And now we're putting coat 2. That's another tip. Always dry it in between coats. Unless you're wanting to blend and do shading or something to where you're wanting those 2 colors to blend together. But if you're wanting better coverage because your color looks a little splotchy, dry it before you do coat number 2. That way, coat number 2 has something to stick to. Because if coat number 1 is still wet, you're just painting on top of a slip and slide. It's going everywhere. Another tip is don't sit and worry too much about painting inside the lines. These laser etched lines are here to be your guide, not your enemy. And so, look, of course, I got outside the lines in a few places, and it's fine. See, nobody's going to know. It'll be fine. And I even got outside the lines a little bit with that blue on the pumpkin earlier, but we fixed it. No problem. So don't be worrying too much about painting inside the lines. Just worry about getting stuff covered with paint. And then later, if you need to do something touching up, you can. You can't stand the paint ridge. Sheila said, I had to place an order to get gray sky. Yeah, Hobby Lobby and Michael's was out of the burlap color the last couple times I went. Okay, we're going to pick up one of my new favorite colors from Deco Art. It is the I don't even know how to say this. Alizarin, Alizarin, Alizarin Crimson. I don't know what is alizarin. Let's Google it. Define alizarin. A red pigment.
Alizarin means a red pigment present in madder root, used in dyeing.
Huh, it's a type of dye. Who knew? We learned something new today. Linda, I had planned on starting at 7, and then I was like, why do I start so late? I should just start this at 6 o'clock. That way I can like relax on the couch after it's over. So we're starting at 6 tonight. We will be starting extra late tomorrow night at 8:30 because I have church on Wednesday night. Oh, wait. Yeah, today's Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So I will have Bible study church tomorrow night. And so we won't be starting until 8:30 after I get home from church tomorrow night. So I will shoot out a message when I am home and ready to get started. But sorry, tonight was a little earlier than I had originally said. We changed it up. Look how pretty this color is. It's kind of like a berry wine color. It's a little brighter than a wine color and a little more red than a wine. But it is so pretty. Gorgeous color. And so this is a flower, but obviously I'm just putting a coat of this color on there to get a good base coat going. And a beginner would probably be a little intimidated to go in and do a lot of shading in a flower to try to do realistic petals. So we're not doing that tonight. We will do that maybe tomorrow or Thursday night when we paint it a little more advanced. Alizarin Crimson is the name. Oh, you can't see that. The light's shining in. Alizarin Crimson. Ooh, thank you for that tip, Vicki. She said, when you go to Deco Art, go to the clearance section and get Tamara's Beautiful and Bright set on sale. Awesome. The Flying Witch is tomorrow, Diane, and my friend Heidi Easley is going to be teaching that. She is an artist, and she's going to be going live in the Clubhouse as a guest to teach that one. Any other questions before we move along? Thank you, Tammy. The sunlight is shining in from my window so brightly right now, so it's like cutting across. Hang on, let me pull the blinds. I'm not usually painting in here this time of night, so I don't ever think about this being an issue. Is that better? Oh, it's still coming through. Hang on, we got to go lower. I don't like not being able to see out my window, so I keep the blinds pulled up. Oh, the other thing I was going to say, Vicki said when you go to Deco Art, grab your discount code. If you're a new Painters Clubhouse member, you may not know Alizarin, Alizarin, for anybody typing it, Alizarin. If you're a new Painters Clubhouse member, you may not know there is a 50% off discount code in the member library for you that is exclusive to Painters Clubhouse members, and you can use it on, I think you can even use it on sale price items. Some of y'all will have to let me know. Those of you who use that discount code often will know. I think you can even use it on sale items. So you can get some excellent deals with that 50% off. And you can find the paints that you can't find in the stores. So that's pretty great. 2 coats of the Alizarin Crimson. You printed the Little Witch earlier today? It's really not too dark. I really like it. It's nice and bright. There's what it looks like in the front camera. The overhead camera always shows things a little darker than they really are. You're welcome. Diane, did you not know about the Painters Clubhouse discount? I'm glad I mentioned it. Yes, and Elizabeth said it can only be used once a month. That's true. So make sure you've got your full order together before you order because it can only be used once a month. Okay, I'm going to pick up our dark chocolate color and paint our stem of our pumpkin. And we'll come back and work on those flowers a little bit more. We're not going to do any shading, but we'll do some basic lines on them to make them look a little bit more like a flower after that color dries. But like I said, a beginner would probably not do a lot of shading on a flower because they would be too intimidated. So we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to keep it simple. We're also going to use this brown color up here on our flower. This is the same brown that we used on the background before we did the crackle. So this is a good door hanger because it doesn't have a ton of colors. So if you're planning on teaching a paint party, this would be a really good one to do at a paint party because it's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors, plus maybe black and white. So you're not going to have to buy a million colors to teach your paint party. I don't know what blue Heidi's using. I'm so sorry. Somebody asked me about that earlier today, and I do not know. Hey, Miss Pam. Christina said, I printed the little witch template. I think I'm going to paint her on a canvas. Oh, that's a great idea. I should do that too. Okay, you don't think it works on sale items. I wasn't sure if it did or not. Okay, I'm going to, this time, pick up a little bit of brown and a little bit of our light mocha color and just kind of dab it in here to do the center of this flower. I want it to look a little messy, like it's not a perfect brown. I'm going to go up to the edge and make it look a little messy too. So this is something even a beginner can do because I'm literally just pouncing my brush. There's not like a really special technique for this, but it does add just a little bit of texture. Look at that. A little bit of texture there. So we've got a little bit of a lighter color in there with the light mocha. And we've got the dark chocolate, and we just kind of pounced it around. I made it look easy. That's because it is. Just pick up a paintbrush and come paint with me. I promise you can do this. Darlene, I actually have a whole blog post on how I made this back wall at southernadornamentsdecor.com/blog, but it is just pallets. It's pallet wood that my husband cut up into strips, and I added swipes of color to them. And there's a lot of them that are not painted, but some of them have bright, fun colors on them. And to attach them to the wall, we put up some 1/2-inch wide plywood, like a big sheet of plywood. We secured it to the studs, and then we went back with a nail gun and nailed the pallet wood on there. Can we see the witch? Yeah, if y'all can give me a second, I will find it. Let me think where the image is. Let me go grab it. Drop your comments. Let me know if you have any questions about what we've done so far. We're going to have to paint our little leaves, and then we're going to have to add some finishing details. So the little witch is the project we're painting tomorrow in the Painters Clubhouse. Like I said, Heidi Easley is teaching it. Here's the picture. I'm going to grab it and download it. Heidi is an expert at teaching paint parties, so I'm sure she'll be dropping some paint party tips for those of you who might be interested in that, but she's also just going to be teaching you to paint. How cute is this? This little witch is just precious. And I know Heidi's going to put her own spin on this. So Heidi's version may not look exactly like this. It's going to be even more magical after Heidi paints it. So I cannot wait to see. That's happening tomorrow at 1 p.m. inside the Painters Clubhouse. Where did the paint bottle holder that's behind you come from? We sell those in our shop at shopdoorhangers.com. We make them here locally and sell them. It's called the Paint Storage Cube. So use the search bar if you're looking for it. Somebody said, I would love to see the lantern with a big red candle or poinsettia, maybe even the reverse of the pumpkin. We actually have a lantern in our shop with a poinsettia. Let me see if I can find it. Lantern. Hold please. I'm going to see if I can grab the link. There's one with a magnolia. There's one with spring flowers, pumpkins. I thought there was one with a poinsettia, or maybe I just painted the magnolia one to look like a poinsettia. That's what it was. A couple years ago on a Facebook Live, I painted this magnolia design to look like a lantern. Let me share my screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. So it's this blank in our shop, and it looks like it has a magnolia, but a while back I painted it red to look like a poinsettia. So super cool. That witch is so cute. I don't know. Let's text Heidi. Text Heidi. They're wanting to know what color blue you plan to use on the back of your little witch.
Okay, sending.
Whoops. Autocorrect spelled that wrong. Text Heidi. Witch with a W.
Okay, sending.
She's going to be dying laughing. Stupid autocorrect. It spelled a bad word. I know I'm blushing. The paint storage cubes are awesome. They hold 81 bottles of paint. Thank you for sharing that, Miss Pam. I didn't even say that. You're right. Where do I go to find your website? Shopdoorhangers.com. But if you're looking to sign up for the Painters Clubhouse, you can go to paintersclubhouse.com. But if you're looking to just shop for wood blanks and stuff, it's shopdoorhangers.com. Hey, Debbie. Yeah, if you're looking to find patterns and things, all of that is at shopdoorhangers.com. I'll try to put that on here so you can screenshot it. I do have it linked in the video description where you can grab this particular template and wood blank. So if you're looking for this one, just click the link up in the video description. And if you're looking to learn to paint with me, go to paintersclubhouse.com. We're painting together tomorrow with Miss Heidi Easley. Like I said, we're doing that cute little witch that I just popped up there. And that is an exclusive design. You're not going to be able to get that unless you're a Painters Clubhouse member. Margarita said, I just ordered the storage cube for my wall. It's fantastic. I have 2. I love it. So you can either hang it on the wall like this. It's got little sawtooth hangers, or you can set it on a shelf because it's about 3 inches wide. So you can like set it on your desk or your shelf and just use it that way too. It doesn't have to hang. Questions, comments? We'll see if Heidi replies. She'll probably be dying laughing at me. Okay, let's paint our little leaves on there. What color are we going to use for this? Let's go with a little bit of a darker green. This is Hauser medium green. I didn't want to go with a super bright green because I wanted to keep it kind of like a deeper color to kind of mimic the deeper colors of the red. Hauser medium green. This is a good tried and true green. It's been one of my favorite greens for a long time. So this is just for the little leaves. Like I said, we're not going to do a lot of shading on these or anything like that. We'll do that maybe tomorrow or Thursday night because we're painting it tonight as a beginner would. And a beginner is not going to feel comfortable doing shading on a leaf. So we're going to keep it pretty basic. The dimensions of that paint storage cube, I believe it's roughly 14 inches, 14 by 14 maybe. I think it says on the product description too. You have 3 of those storage cubes? I love New Leaf too, Tammy. It's a little brighter than this, but I wanted to go with a deeper color for this purpose. Christina said, when you were doing the crackle technique, did you clean your brush between the glue and the white paint? I did not. I did clean it after adding the paint and before doing another layer of glue. So when I put the glue layer down, there was never any paint mixed in. But I didn't wash it. I didn't wash the glue off to dip in the paint. Does that make sense? You don't see the paint cube. Look up storage cube or just type in the word cube, Carrie. It should come right up. If you still can't find it, I'll grab the link for you. Just type in the word cube and it should find it. Okay, second coat on our green. Like I said, don't worry too much about having to stay inside the paint lines. You don't have to. I sometimes do not. I just use them as sort of like a rough guide as to where the paint's supposed to go. I do what I want. Thank you, Vicki. She said it's actually 15.5 by 15.5 by 3.5. I appreciate you. Elizabeth said, I would fill an entire wall with your storage cubes if I ordered enough to hold all of my paint. How many bottles? It holds 81. 9 rows by 9 rows. Somebody on TikTok said, hey, I absolutely love your paintings. You inspire me. Aw, that made my day. Thank you. Okay, now that we're done, that little spot is still bugging me. So like I told you, don't go back and touch it up till later. I'm touching it up now after I've done everything else. So there we go. Touch that one up. And there's also a spot over here. So you never know. Sometimes there'll be another one that you can touch up. That's looking really good. Look at this crackle paint. Oh my goodness. It's going to be hard to top this tomorrow night, honestly. My husband started making the cubes, but then we actually ended up outsourcing it to somebody local. He goes to church with us. It's a good friend. And so he now does them. Hey, Stacy, that's okay. We're doing it again tomorrow night and Thursday night. So if you missed this one, feel free to catch the replay. All right. The next thing we're going to do is add some outlines and details, probably using a paint pen because we're doing it like a beginner would, and a beginner might not feel comfortable using a brush just yet to do outlines and details. So we're going to use a paint pen. One other thing that I probably should do is add just a little detail to this. I almost forgot. So I'm going to use a brush for that. I'm going to use a little round tip brush, and I'm going to mix a little bit of, let's use a little bit of that light mocha color and mix it with the Alizarin Crimson to create a lighter shade. Ooh, look at that. That's really pretty. I love mixing colors. So I just mixed a teeny bit of light mocha with Alizarin Crimson to create this really pretty color. And now I'm just going to kind of trace where those lasered lines are to create the shape of the flower. Because we're representing how a beginner would paint it. So if you're a beginner, this is for you. You can follow along with this and be successful painting a door hanger. That's all I ever want for you guys. I want you to be successful being creative and feel proud of what you're able to accomplish. I had to put a little water in there to get this paint flowing a little further because I was about to run out of it and I didn't want to mix it again. Okay. A little bit more, do our petals. Like I said, I'm not freehanding this part. I'm kind of just following I'm painting just to the inside of the laser etched line. And creating those petals. So I don't have to figure out where to put them. I can just follow those lines. Okay, let's try this, see how it looks. Hey, Marie. Marie is actually the one who inspired me to do this 3 nights of painting this week. So if you're enjoying this, everybody say, thank you, Marie. She said, I really love it when you do the 3 nights of painting. Are you doing that again? And I was like, I don't know. And then I sat and marinated and thought about it. I'm like, I do miss doing that. I should do it. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, you probably usually miss me live because I'm usually live during the day while the kids are at school. But right now we are live painting 3 nights in a row to raise awareness about our Painters Clubhouse membership so that you guys can come and paint with us. Tammy says, it's funny. The whole time I'm painting, I'm thinking to myself, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. It's a mantra. Just keep saying it. Yes, Marie. So if you have ideas about how we can do it tomorrow night and the next night, this is beginner night. So we actually did, the only technique we really did that tonight was this fun crackle paint using Elmer's glue. And it turned out so good. I'm so excited. Did the crackle effect, did I do it on the edges? No, I don't ever paint my edges. They're still black like the laser light leaves them. But you totally could if you wanted. Okay, look how great these flowers look. Now, I'm just noticing that I need to put one more coat on the stem of my pumpkin because that brown looks real splotchy. So let's touch that up before we finish it with our final details here. And drop a comment and let me know if you have ideas about how I should paint it tomorrow or Thursday night. I love your input. Dixie, that feels like that was 2 years ago, so I don't even know. Elizabeth said the 3 nights is a tradition. You can't stop now. I didn't do it back in the spring, and that got me out of the habit. Marie says I should do foil on the glass area next time. Somebody also mentioned maybe glass and resin. That would be fun. Okay. So like we said, a beginner would probably use a paint pen for this part. So we're just going to go in and add some details using a paint pen. This is just a black, fine point paint pen. And so we're just going to kind of add some outlines and some details. I got to get this thing working a little better because it's not flowing very well. I was shaking it, but I think it just needs pumping. There we go. So this is kind of how you can come back and clean up some of your laser, or your paint lines. If you feel like you painted outside the lines, these little outlines and things really kind of tidy it up. Add a little bit of detail. You can add like a little center to those leaves. Come back in here and paint the flower. It's going to feel weird to put black on a flower, but just wait for it. You'll be able to see the colors sort of pop. And I'm not freehanding these lines. I'm painting on top of those lasered lines. There we go. Look, it added so much detail to that flower. So this is kind of a before and after. What kind of paint pen? This one is an Artistro paint pen, and it is the fine point, 1 millimeter. So these are also linked in my Amazon favorites that I dropped in the comments earlier if you need to grab some. I definitely feel like there's more of y'all on here tonight than I usually have on a live. So it makes me feel like, man, I should paint at night more often. Everybody's home, not at work. Okay, there we go. Look at the flowers. They look so good. Even with no shading, painted as a beginner, it really adds a lot. Now this part might terrify you, but you're just going to do a straight line. If you need to, get a ruler out, trace the ruler, and do your straight lines kind of across the center here. This is what makes it look like a lantern. And I'm not freehanding these lines either. They are lasered on the door hanger. So I'm just following them and putting them on there. Now here's a really great tip for you. Whoops, I just totally made that line so crooked. I wonder if I can get that off with a baby wipe. Here's another learning moment. If you move quick enough, sometimes you can erase a paint pen with a baby wipe. I'm going to have to do it real gently though, because I don't want to scrape off my, ooh, yes, it's coming up. I don't want to scrape off my Crackle paint. I don't need to erase the whole line, just the bottom half of it. So if you struggle with paint pens, have a baby wipe handy, because if the line goes wonky like that one just did, you can erase it with a baby wipe. Okay. Yes, the lines are etched. So here's a tip. If you're having a hard time painting a straight line, and I should have followed my own tip before starting here, instead of moving your wrist, which was probably what I was doing, look how the paint pen curves when you do that. And if you try to use your fingertips, you don't have much, like you can only go about 2 inches doing that. So if you work your elbow, you still are going to get a wavy line. So work your body, use your upper body. I'm going to lean forward for the first part of this line and then lean back in my seat. That's still got crooked. I think my problem is too that I can't see the laser etch line for all my Crackle paint. So the line is kind of crooked. Hold on. We got to make TikTok know we're still alive here. Good thing the baby wipe is handy. There we go. That is much straighter. Okay, now let's do this one on this side, but we're going to rotate the door hanger for this. And I'm going to look at where the line starts and look at the point where I'm headed. I'm leaning forward in my seat and then leaning back. So the only thing moving is my core. And you're going to have a lot more stability moving your core. Everybody get it? Mary said that tip really works. I love doing that. Yeah, if you're painting a straight line, tracing a straight line, it really does work. I'm also leaving the flat of my hand along the door hanger, so it's sliding and moving with me. Let's put some on the outside here. Just a little line. It just kind of cleans it up. And that one's easy because I just rested on the corner of the door hanger and let it slide. So for this one, I'm just going to try. I can't see my laser lines. Yeah, I can, barely. Hard to see through all the crackle. Let's see where it starts and where it ends. I think it starts here. And it goes to here. So we're just adding our details so this has some shape to it. Oh, that line was terrible. I'm just using the baby wipe trick a lot tonight, so don't feel bad if you have to do this. Sometimes I do too. I get hasty and I'm kind of out of practice with my paint pens. Hadn't used them in a minute. It doesn't take much. Let me dry the baby wipe juice. Carrie said, I couldn't believe how much the outlines did for my pumpkin truck, right? It really just brings it all together. Makes such a difference. Okay, that's still a little wonky, but we're going with it. Should I trace the inside of that circle too? I don't know if it's really necessary. Let's add some to our sunflower. And you can follow the laser etched lines for this, but you can also kind of give yourself permission to not try to trace those lines just perfectly. That's kind of what I do because I like the look that looks a little bit more imperfect. It looks a little more like I just doodled on top of my own paint. I prefer that look. Oh, that line was kind of crazy. That's okay. We're going to let it go. Let it go. And I may do like a little, almost like a little scallop around the outside of this little sunflower. We can do a little bit in the middle too, just for some whimsy. Okay, do you see anything that I missed? So there's the little details that I added on the inside of the sunflower. Baby wipe in hand now, Elizabeth says. Any other questions? Vicki said, is this template available for Painters Clubhouse or do we need to purchase it? You'll need to grab it at shopdoorhangers.com. I'll drop the link to the template and the wood blank again in the description for you or in the comments for you. And don't forget to use your Painters Clubhouse discount code. If you're not a member of the Clubhouse yet, you can head over to paintersclubhouse.com and sign up. And then you can log into your member library immediately and grab the discount code at the top that says discounts. Albert says your first time painting and using a paint pen is never going to come out right the first time. Right. It takes practice. Hence the baby wipe. And if you're out of practice, like I am, sometimes it still takes the baby wipe. I've gotten kind of used to using a paintbrush more lately than a paint pen. What other tips okay, I would love to know, what tip did I drop tonight that felt like a wow moment for you? Something you didn't know before that you're going to use next time you paint. Drop in the comments and let me know. We're going to draw a random winner for a door prize. What are we going to give away? Let's give away one of these cutouts, an 18-inch pumpkin lantern door hanger. Pumpkin lantern door hanger. Let me find a sticky note to write this down on so I do not forget who wins. Drop a comment and let me know, what was your aha moment from tonight that you learned? What size did I paint tonight? This is an 18-inch door hanger. So perfect for your front door. The Crackle technique, Elmer's glue to Crackle. Crackle effect. The Crackle wowed me. That was definitely my take home tonight. Definitely. How to cover up a mistake. That was a really good tip. I'm struggling with words. Baby wipes for the paint pen. Bernice says the best tip was to use a tan color over the mistake of the pumpkin. I'm so glad y'all are all learning something tonight. Even if you've painted with me, some of you guys have been painting with me for years and have probably never, I know you've never seen me do the Elmer's glue trick for the Crackle, because this was the first time I had tried it. So sometimes I'm learning right alongside you, but don't be afraid. I'm always willing to go first and try the scary thing first. So you don't have to, and you can learn from my mistakes. Carrie said, I missed the beginning, but from the pumpkin workshop, I would say trust the process. There were a few times I doubted myself, but I ended up loving it at the end. Okay, I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds to drop your golden nugget, your thing that you learned during tonight's live before we draw a winner. Oh, and one thing that I'm noticing as I'm looking at this door hanger in the picture is that it feels like it needs a little highlight or something on this pumpkin. So I'm going to grab a paint pen and just do like a couple of little whoop. A beginner would love these little highlights. They really, look how it made that pumpkin look like it's popping a little bit. Let's do a little bit on the sunflower. Just a few quick little swipes in places where the light might hit it. These are some new paint pens that I recently got at Walmart, I think. They are Sharpie brand creative marker. Have y'all tried these? They have a little bit more of like a pointed tip, but they're super fun. Whoop, I don't like that mark. Where's that baby wipe? I feel like it doesn't erase the white quite as good as it erased the black. That must be because this is a different brand marker. But this is a great way to kind of add some pop and pizzazz to your design. The trick is knowing where to stop, right? Because you're like, oh, how many like little swipes should I put? Should I just keep going? So I always recommend do a few and then step back and see if it feels like the light is bouncing off all the right places. If you feel like it's not, if you feel like it's missing a spot, then you could always add a few more. Somebody said, I love the Sharpies. I use the creative markers. I use them for my daily doodles. Oh, Marie said that. Yeah. I only just started using them this week. So far, I really like them. So many tips, Robin says. Okay, are we ready to draw a winner? I don't know how best to do this. So I'm just going to close my eyes and wait, hang on. Was there a way to do? Oh, well, I guess we couldn't do that tonight. I'm going to close my eyes, scroll, and then click on a random comment. So I'm scrolling up, 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 down, 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 and then just randomly, and I'm just going to click on one. I clicked. I clicked, and it didn't click. It was Vicky Hilb. Congratulations, Vicky. You are the winner. Vicky Hilb. So, Vicky, if you will email customer support at info@southernadornamentsdecor.com, we will send you a prize. Let me type in that for you so you can screenshot this. So this is the customer support email. So just email us here and we will make sure and mail your prize out. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Don't forget to hit the share button to share this with your friends. I'm gonna stick around and answer all your questions about the Painters Clubhouse. So if you are interested in becoming a part of our incredible community, I would like to formally invite you to do so. It is a membership where each month we teach you something new. We teach you a new project where we take you through start to finish, just like we did tonight, on step 1, step 2, all the way to the finish line for the project. And so each month we have different projects. I'm going to show you what projects we're doing coming up next month in just a moment at the end of these slides. And so if you sign up now, you get access to everything you see here. Beginner lessons, new lessons each month, guest artist tutorials. Like I said, tomorrow Heidi Easley is coming live to paint that cute little witch design with us. You also get access to the monthly technique videos that we do. We do a new monthly technique. We did a crackle painting tutorial just 2 or 3 months ago, and it is saved in the technique section of the Clubhouse. So you can easily go and access it. You don't have to watch a full project to learn just the technique part of it. You can go and just access that quick little video, watch it for about 15 minutes or less, follow along with it while you're doing your project, and incorporate that technique into whatever it is you're painting. Inside that library is also over 100 tutorials and templates that you get instant access to. We also do something really fun at least once a month, but lately 2 or 3 times a week, we've been doing Zoom paint parties together. So if you enjoy the camaraderie that we've had here in the comments and want to take this a step further, I highly encourage you to hop on one of those. Even if you don't want to be on camera, you can keep your camera turned off and just join in until you feel comfortable. And then you can choose to turn on your camera or unmute your mic when you're comfortable. Also, of course, that 20% off discount code for shopdoorhangers.com and a 50% off at decoart.com. And if you do this with us, learning new techniques is going to build your painting confidence. You're going to get better at painting the more you do it. Anybody can learn this. This is not something you have to be born with. Y'all saw tonight, I showed you step by step. And if you can pick up a paintbrush and follow step 1, step 2, step 3, eventually you will get to the final step and you will be shocked and so proud at what you were able to create. And so I want that confidence for you. I want you to feel proud of what you're able to paint and confident to start another project after that. Myra says, I want to do that little witch. Isn't she cute? Yeah, you can totally come back and watch this one again, Debbie, right here on Facebook, also on YouTube. Angela says you won't regret joining. Thank you for sharing that, Angela. And if you stay consistent at this, just like some of these ladies in the comments, drop me a comment and tell me how long you've been a member. If you're a Painters Clubhouse sister right now, some of our members have been with us since the beginning. And we've had our membership for 7 years now. So some of these ladies have been learning with me for a long time, and they really have become an integral part of the sisterhood. We get together and have a big event every year called SA Live. We also have a smaller one in the summer, which was PC Live that we did on a cruise ship this past summer. Next year, it'll be here in Kentucky at my home. But we get together and we paint in person, and we take our friendships to a deeper level, because it's hard to make friends as an adult. But when you're learning something new like this and joining a community, it's so much easier because you already have something in common with all of these ladies. And the more you hang out with us, the more you're going to find out you have way more in common with all of us than you even realize. Look, Elizabeth's been a member for 3 years. Angela says 1 year. Sheila says 5 years. Amy is in her 3rd month, so she must have joined us back in the spring. Marie says probably since 2019. That's a good long time. Kathy said, I've been a member for just a week, but I've been watching for over a year. Janelle says 2 years. Kathy says 4 years. So I think those numbers speak for themselves, that once you join, you're not going to want to leave. This is going to be something that's going to enrich your life in so many more ways than you even can imagine right now. These ladies probably had no idea when they joined what they were really getting. They thought they were getting painting tutorials, and they were. They thought, I'm going to learn a new hobby, and they did. They probably thought, I might make a new friend or two, and they did. But they probably had no idea the impact that those things would have on their life over time. Because the deeper you go with all of this, the more you learn, the deeper these friendships get. It becomes life-changing. It really helps pull you out of depression when you're going through something difficult. One of our members recently told me on the cruise that she had lost her daughter. Her daughter had died about a year or so ago. And she said the last SA Live event, where we all got together in person and crafted, pulled her out of that grief and helped give her something to focus on and something exciting to look forward to. And so if you're struggling right now, if you're struggling financially, you can sell what you learn to paint. If you paint this lantern, you can sell it. Sell it to your neighbor, your sister, your coworkers at a craft fair. Teach it in a paint party. Get together with your crafty friends. Charge them each a little fee and get together and paint with them. Pull together your church fellowship group. Get together and paint. Go teach it at a nursing home facility nearby and let the elderly people paint with you. What an amazing ministry that would be. Bonnie said, I just joined last week and I'm so excited to see what all I can get into. Margarita said 1 year for me. This will be my 2nd live. So yeah, she came to SA Live last year. And I know the impact that this is having on people. It is real. And so if you join, You're not going to be disappointed. You can cancel at any time. We're not a gym membership that's going to hold you hostage, I promise. So if you decide to join, we're also going to be giving you 2 amazing bonuses. The first one is a video that teaches you how to practice your door hanger painting. I'm going to share lots of really great tips and ways to practice your painting that maybe you haven't thought of. So if you don't want to start on a piece of wood, I've got some tips for you. The other bonus is a physical little welcome kit that we're going to send you in the mail. So open your mailbox, receive this cute little package. It's going to have some paintbrushes, a cute little paintbrush ink pen, some stickers, palette earrings that you can paint and wear when you're out and about, plus a little 6-inch ornament of the snow Christmas truck design. So it's this design right here, but in Christmas ornament form for your Christmas tree. And that right there. What else? And then, of course, we have tons of tutorials at your fingertips inside the member library that you can go and watch right now. If you want to see even more, I did a video yesterday called the Door Hanger Hall of Fame, where I shared my top 10 favorite door hangers from the Painters Clubhouse for fall and Christmas. So I would recommend you go watch that too. And then, like I promised, here's what's coming up next. I think Marie Mosley's with us right now. She was earlier if she's not still on here. She's going to be teaching this fall floral crate design. And so she designed this. I'm so excited to see her bring this to life. She's going to be painting these flowers like you've never seen flowers painted before. It's going to be absolutely stunning. So this is happening in September. Also happening in September, there's Marie. Marie, they are so excited for you to be teaching. And then also coming up in September on the 18th at 10 a.m., I'm going to be painting this Christmas truck that's hanging up behind me. So that is on the back side of our Pumpkins and Pickups workshop design. So 2 really great designs that you're going to get access to right away. Well, not right away, but in September when you join. And of course, right away, tomorrow morning, we have Heidi Easley coming live to paint with us. So I hope to see you inside. I know a lot of our members over in the comments, like Debbie McNeil saying Painters Clubhouse is awesome. Hope to see you inside as well. We love growing our community. We love welcoming new people. And so you're not going to feel alone. You're not going to feel like you have to go hide in the corner and not know who to talk to. You're going to find instant friends here. Christy said, I joined, and then with moving, I had to give it up for a month, but I couldn't wait to get back. I love the PC. Thank you for joining, Christy. Michelle said, I found you after losing my husband and brother. You are not alone, Michelle. I have heard so many people say something similar. And so this could be something positive that you could lean into, something new that could give you a little bit of hope, give you something to focus on and help you to channel your grief into something positive. So if you feel like you need something new in your life, this could be the thing. This could be your new passion, your new obsession. Stephanie said, when you say SA Live, did you mean Kentucky, your home state, or your home? So last year in 2024, we did PC Live, Painters Clubhouse Live, here in Kentucky, in my hometown. Part of it was at a local like event venue. And then we also had a vendor sale here at our shop. And we gave a tour of our wood shop and had the vendor booth set up out there. I'm not sure yet if we'll have it set up like that next year, but it is going to be very similar. You guys will still be able to come and tour the wood shop and do the vendor booth, and we will be painting together for a full day. So that'll be happening in July of 2026. I cannot wait. Marie's excited to teach again. Does anybody have anything else they would like to share or ask before we hop off? If you haven't joined the Painters Clubhouse yet, comment PC info and you can sign up now. If you want to be notified when I go live tomorrow and Thursday night, comment the word alert and you'll be notified right before I go live. That way you don't forget. And if you want the link to the template or wood blank, you can grab that in the video description. Bonnie, I am in Murray, Kentucky. I think my address is technically, I know my address is technically Benton, Kentucky, but I consider Murray my home. Benton and Murray are only about 20 minutes apart from one another. And I live kind of like in the middle of a cornfield somewhere between the two. Vicki said, I'm definitely coming to that one. Well, it's going to be in July 2026. Kathy said, I'll definitely try to get to that. Awesome. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. Any other questions? Thank you for sharing this video with a crafty friend. And I hope to see you guys inside the clubhouse. See you tomorrow night. Bye all.